Um, they're- I think
Okay.
they're still, it's only just happened sort of thing, as far as I know.
Is she okay?
Yep, I
In
think
good
she,
health, I mean.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'll just try and share the screen. I have a few slides here. Can you all see that? The
yes.
reflection for this meeting is on Jubilee. For two reasons. Of course, we know that the Pope Francis has called a Jubilee for 2025, and he's actually called it Pilgrims of Hope. And we also know that at the end of this year, we'll be celebrating the 250th anniversary Jubilee of the Presentation Sisters, following the death of Nana Nagel. So we thought Jubilee might be a nice thing for us to think about today. So if you just bear with me, the a Jubilee in our Catholic tradition is it's meant to be a special year of forgiveness and reconciliation. That whole idea of coming back to right relationships with God and one another and creation. And just a bit of history on Jubilees. Apparently, the Jubilee year is celebrated every 25 years in the church since 1470. It's pretty amazing. When Pope Paul II changed it to every 50 years. And we also know from the extraordinary Jubilee year of mercy in 2015 that popes can call Jubilee years. So we're standing in a year that's been set aside, 2025, with the theme of hope. And I think that's a particularly interesting thing for us to think about when we look around what's happening in the world. We have war and bloodshed and violence in many places. We have extreme politics. We have, I don't know about your parts of the world, but Australia's been going through some pretty horrific weather events, damage, horrific temperatures and things like that. So our climate is turning as well. So we know that the biblical foundations of Jubilee come from Leviticus. And in the Jewish world, every 50th year was meant to be a releasing of people from their debts and slaves and returning property to those who were owed it, but also a year dedicated to rest and prayer and reflection. So I just wanted us to think today about what we might do with this Jubilee year of hope, how we might consider or focus on hope in our prayer, maybe doing a pilgrimage, maybe some rituals and acts and commitments. Because really what a Jubilee year is meant to do is to inspire us all to witness God's love in the world. Pope Francis says we need to be agents of hope in our communities, spreading love and compassion and helping those in need, advocating for peace, and working towards a more equitable and caring society. He also says we need to transform hope into tangible acts of kindness and solidarity and try to make a real difference in the lives of others. And I think as presentation people, this is not an unusual story because this woman, Nana Nagel, was a pilgrim of hope in a cruel and unjust world. She worked tirelessly to bring hope to the poorest people in her community, prisoners, the elderly, the lonely, the uneducated, Catholic street children. And every day, rain, hail, or shine, we know that she visited every one of her schools, a little mini daily pilgrimage of hope, bringing encouragement to both her students and the teachers. And I think the thing about being called to stop and consider our actions is a very good starting point for our work as presentation people.
Yeah.
Just want to share a little story, or just a little reflection with you, if I can. This one will come up. There's a story of a water bearer, and he had 2 pots, and every day he would take his pots down to the stream and he would fill them up. And one of the pots was perfect, beautiful pot, held the water wonderfully, and the other pot had a slight crack, causing it to leak water as he walked along. And every day the water bearer delivered only 1.5 pots of water, and the pot with the crack felt very ashamed of his flaw. And one day he apologized to the water bearer. He said, "I'm sorry for my weakness. You work hard and I'm wasting the water." And the water bearer smiled and said, "When you look at the path we take back to the house, have you noticed the flowers only grow on one side of the path, not the other? I knew about your flaw and I planted seeds along that side, and every day you've been watering them. Because of you, I've been able to bring beauty and joy to our master's table." And I love this story because I think for all of us, we're probably sitting there going, well, what can I do? I have my flaws. I'm busy. I don't have any money. I'm up against many things in my community and I don't feel I can do very much. This story reminds us that whatever we do, we will make a difference. And I think it's a beautiful reflection for our year of hope. So I just wanted you to pause for a minute and just think about in your life and in your work as a presentation person, a friend of Nano, what gives you hope? And at the same time, what small intentional actions could you take to foster a culture of hope in this Jubilee year of hope? So can I just ask you to take a minute or two to think about that? Can we take these thoughts and offer them as a prayer tonight, or tonight for me, I know it's morning for some of you, and offer them as a prayer in these words that Pope Francis has written for the Jubilee Year of Hope. And you might want to say this prayer with me, maybe not with your microphone on. Creator God, may your grace transform us into tireless cultivators of the seeds of the gospel. May those seeds transform from within both humanity and the whole cosmos in the sure expectation
of a new heaven
and
and a new
new
earth.
earth. May the grace of the Jubilee reawaken in us, pilgrims of hope, the joy and peace of our Redeemer throughout the earth. To you, our God,
God,
eternally
eternally
blessed,
blessed,
be glory and praise
forever.
forever. Amen.
Amen.
And Nana Nagel, pray for us.
Pray for us. Pray for us.
Thanks, Karen. Karen.
So before we go into our groups, Maria, do you want to talk about the theme of the next edition of Nanos Echo? You're muted.
Okay, so yes, so we'll be looking at being pilgrims of hope. We'll be continuing the Jubilee theme through this year. So over the next 3 editions, we'll be looking at pilgrimages that we might go on, hopes and dreams for this Jubilee year, how we're celebrating, and then we'll lead, starting with the Christmas edition and on into 2025 with the Jubilee 2050. So invitations, please, for contributions to our March edition. As always, we will accept articles on our 3 core values: partnership with the divine, passion for the poorest, and covenant with creation. We're looking for photos, videos, articles. If you've got a magazine that you publish, send us a copy of that. But because what you've probably been noticing is that you can click on the pictures and you can go into something else, a video or whatever. And so we're looking for seeds of hope, and how we're going to share them with people. Okay, so I will be sending a reminder out. Thank you.
If any people you know or you yourself have made a pilgrimage in your lifetime, this year, last year, or whatever, this is an opportune time to write up how that impacted your life. And since we are pilgrims, and I grew up in a street named Pilgrim and Pilgrim Drive. And so it's a really important word for me. And I think it's a great time for us to share those pilgrim experiences that we've had. And you've had them in different ways. And it could be a religious journey. It could be that you never went anywhere, but it was a pilgrimage in your life. Anyway, we're looking for not factual stories, but stories of change, of transformation as a result of some kind of pilgrimage of our journey as pilgrims of hope. So then, and the deadline, Maria, was March 3rd, right? For the first, the deadline for the March edition is March 3rd?
March the 3rd, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but so, start sending articles as soon as.
Right. And we think that we'll have lots of stories, so they can be spread out over the next few editions. So today we said we were going to get together and talk about how we can use social media in our, let's see if I can find it. Sorry. Yeah. Can you see that now?
Yes.
I did it right? Amazing. Okay. So these are the questions we want to discuss when we break into our small groups, thanks to Ariel. And I know a few of you are here specifically for this. Welcome to you because of your expertise and your experience. I think you can be very helpful as we start on this journey. So what we want to do is think about our purpose and the benefit of having a social media platform and what kind of platform we'd like to see to advance the movement. What kinds of things do we want featured on that platform? How frequently there should be postings? And then what kind of guidelines or rules should be put into place? We're not looking for anything like a WhatsApp group. It would be something that has an administration team or a group of people that would decide what goes on and what doesn't. And it would be quite controlled. So I don't know if you can put this in the chat or if you have it in front of you so that when you get in your groups, you can think about these topics.
Ariel's put it in the
See if
chat.
I can. Thank you, Ariel. Okay, so we're ready to do the work of this meeting.
I've posted them in the chat for everybody's benefit. Yeah.
Thank you, Dira.
So we're probably going to six different rooms. Yeah. So there'd be about 4 of us in each.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say, Lily O'Reilly is trying to get in, but she seems to be having difficulty. Just that you'll know that she's still trying.
Can you say that again, Concepta?
Sorry.
Lily.
Lily from the Northeast is trying to get in. I just phoned her there now because I knew she was coming on. So she seems to be having trouble.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
we had
and
a storm,
Lorraine,
so whether she's in trouble or not now, I don't know. But anyway, look, we leave it be. If she comes, she comes.
Thank you.
and Lorraine just joined us.
Yes.
I'm going to open the breakout room now, so please
Excellent.
transfer
Thanks,
your
Ariel.
chat to breakout room. Thank you.
Thank you. And you
Thank
can
you.
unmute.
Morning, Deirdre.
Morning, Lorraine. How are you doing this morning?
Well, it's 3:30 in the morning, so partly here.
I get it. It's 5:30 in the morning here.
Thank you, Ariel.
Oh, we've lost a few people. Excellent.
We're all back.
Was Naomi not able to connect in the end?
Yeah, she dropped out, it seems.
She was there, wasn't she?
She was at the
Yes,
beginning.
I've been trying to come in many times, but there could be
Yeah,
no
she was. Yeah.
suitable connection.
Okay, so we'll share all the wisdom that emerged from the discussions, the small room discussions. And so I guess we can start with room number 1. Who's speaking for room number 1? Sorry, I forgot to remind you to select a spokesperson to report back.
From group 1, room 1, I am the person jotting down, and
Bravo,
we
Nisha.
had mixed responses and very beautiful responses yet. And for the first part, if I say that, begin sharing that what do you see as a purpose and benefits of social media platform such as FB for the moment. For myself in Pakistan, I see, and in other countries also, more of the young people are very much, they are using other social media platforms. And FB is kind of a version of social media that had been used in the past, and people had been using it in the past, but now the trends have changed, and people are more like, they are very much active on other social media platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, so they have their accounts here, and we could be connecting it to many other social media platforms and posting the things frequently, like we do on the social media platform as FB. We could be creating an FB page, and that would be for the reason and purpose of global connection, awareness and advocacy, collaboration and sharing, and youth engagement mostly. The things we post on other social media platforms, we could be posting the same things on our FB page with Nano's vision. From other regions, our new Finland member, Ireland, and South America. So they have been sharing that they are very much aware of FB, and they are using the FB platform for many years. And they could be like doing it in a way that how the people are like getting their interest to be involved in Nano's vision and to carry on this legacy. And as it is the way of getting connected to the people and knowing each other throughout the world. And secondly, there was a sharing that this FB platform is for creating a stronger connection and platform. And thirdly, for contacting the people, for posting, not for only posting, but for contacting, that how the things have been going and how the things have been like getting along with the things in their own regions. But one condition is that like we are aware of this thing, that social media platforms are not very much safe these days. There is more of the privacy breaching. So we have to be conscious about that thing also, that there is no person or no group who is harming our privacy or who is taking an advantage of that thing. So we need to create an army who would be looking after this matter and would be doing it with integrity. If I may like come up with second question with all our sharings.
Yes, cover everything because we have 6 rooms to report.
Yes. Yes. So what kind of things should be featured and how frequently should be there the postings? From Pakistan, I feel that there are many vast issues that we are facing right now. So we could be posting about Nano's vision of education, social justice, gender inequality, and about poverty, eradication of poverty. I feel that from my region, the posting could be more about these issues, but there could be many more things included. Uh, Not only the things that are very depressing, but beautiful messages or stories from real life of people that could serve as encouragement or inspiration to get more people involved and ready on the project to be a part of the Friends of Nano mission. There could be several things. From other regions, we have that things are getting worse with the gender issues. Not only here in some of the countries we are living in, but in other regions, in parts of the world, the things are getting worse with gender inequality. So they could be posting about the gender equality. They could be posting about the poems, the poetry, which encourages the people to live for them. They could be posting about beautiful words. And it has also to be a part of like social media platform in a way. The people are not able to reach sometimes the church or religious perspective by going in person. So the postings could be about the religious things, to explore the spirituality within oneself, and to have a deeper knowledge. And same like there should be postings about the connection with the earth and love for nature. The earth we are living on, we are there, but we are not protecting our mother earth. We are destructing it. So the things could be posted about love for the nature and about our mother earth. The third question we had discusses that what kind of guidelines or ground rules should be there that should be put in place. Respect is the element that should be the ground rule, and we have to be very careful about the posting that we are not hurting anyone's sentiment. There should be a strong connection. There should be a team who would be taking care of this thing, that the things are going in a right way and on a right track. And things have been there in the past. We need to be bringing out more hope, trust, and belief. There should be a strong connection. And it has also been like in the past, we had not that much social media apps or platforms, but now as the things have changed, so there should be a very definite and strong thing about our privacy also. No one is going to like breach that privacy. and Nano's vision, and the people who we are preparing to share the things online, they are taking care of all this stuff, what to be shared and what not to be shared. Fourth, and the final thing that we had discussed on in our group was, would you be willing to work in a small group to launch this project? For myself, I would say that I feel that this is the need of the time, that I have to take this responsibility, not only me, but the other people out there, and mostly the young people, have to take this responsibility to come and be a part of this project of launching this small group. We could be sharing many things on
So,
the social media platform.
so you're volunteering, Nisha, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I am. But for other people, it would be difficult because there are time constraints and there are many things happening. They're cautious about their privacy, and obviously,
Yes,
there has been cyberbullying also.
of
So
course.
people do not much feel much safe or confident. Even I, I feel hit using these social media platforms. But
That's
we
why
have to take
we
an
have to have a team. We have to have a
yes,
team. Yes. So, in the interest
yes,
of time, because we only have 15 minutes left, I would like to move on to the other rooms. And if you have already come up with some of the same things that Nisha has mentioned, you can just mention that and move on quickly so we can get a report from all the rooms. All right? Thank you very much, Nisha. And thank you for volunteering. Room
thank you.
2,
Greetings of the day to everyone once again. So
welcome.
thank you, ma'am. So the first point as shared by Nisha ma'am remains the same on a broader ground to spread awareness and build the community and to share the updates and make people aware about who we are and what the aim is to follow Nano's vision. In the second question of what kind of things to feature, we can add some creative activities, the justice issues and other issues where we all are catering in different parts of the world. And in the beginning of the session, as ma'am started with a short story about a man carrying the two pots. So sometimes not just sharing what we are doing, but rather making story as a medium of engagement or quotations or something like that on the social media apps, which can catch the eyes of the youth these days.
Mm-hmm.
For the third question, how frequent the posting should be, that definitely cannot have a fixed answer and it depends on the need of the hour. But it has to be brief, not too long, and should hit the core of the audience. Relevance has to be there. So it might not be too much because less is more. Mary ma'am mentioned it in the meeting also. So let people reflect within themselves. And for the rules and guidelines, these can be both personal guidelines and public guidelines. So one of the major concern these days in any app is the comment section. So some people might have a good intention, other might not have. So the comment section controlling is a key challenge which needs to be taken. And on the personal front, it's the concern for the password and the security. One person managing everything might become a point of concern if we lose the password or the person is not available due to any unavoidable reasons. So the entire army again has to be there who can look after all these things together. And if we are using anything from any source, it's always good to mention the source to avoid any copyright issues or to seek prior permission. That is what shall be important. Another guideline that has to be taken care of in the personal front should be the data protection. If we are posting any pictures, we should be aware whether the people in the picture are okay with their faces being posted or not. So
Yes.
that is again an important thing which came out of the discussion. And whatever content is being posted, it should be legible, understandable, and appropriate vocabulary has to be there. It should be appealing, but at the same time, not too fancy that the number of people who are able to understand goes on decreasing. And the check on what is being posted is another important thing for the correct grammar, vocabulary, and also what the aim of the posting is. And for the final question, definitely time constraints are there for everyone. But from my side, I can be a little help in helping to be in the team of managing the social media or posting anything that can suit to the best of the interest.
Thank you, Riddhi, for
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
volunteering. And I'm sure that this effort will require multiple teams so people don't get burned out. They do a
Definitely.
turn and then another group. But the first team needs to set the groundwork, right? Thank you. So let's go to room 3. Who's speaking for room 3?
There's Luella.
I am not sure.
Luella.
Yes, yeah. So we had in our group Sister Shaila from the CLT. We had Maria and Dira and myself. So I think a lot of our discussions have already been covered by the earlier 2 reporters. So I'll just add that our group felt we should have a separate page for both Facebook and Insta. And while Facebook has mostly the clientele of has an older clientele, Insta is more youthful, or most of the youth are on Insta. And we felt that while we would need to have the ground rules already described by the first 2 groups in place in terms of privacy and giving adequate and appropriate acknowledgement, etc., we would need to also ensure that repeat posts and they do turn people off, and we lose a lot of coverage if people get feel that there's too much of a repetition. One important point would be to start off our page with an inspiring movie or poem or some resource that has inspired us as well. And also we felt that posts that have the ground reality, our work on the ground will be very inspiring for people to want to join us and join in our movement and join in our campaign. And then once they get a taste of Nano Nagel's beautiful vision, they will also want to join and contribute. So basically, that's what we felt, that our stories should be genuine, they should be verified, and very close to reality, so that they inspire people and motivate people to want to join our movement. Also, as said earlier, I think by the 2 groups, videos that are posted should not depict us as ones who are as benefactors. Rather, we being partners. So the video should not come across as condescending or demeaning to the others. And we feel that this would lead to our posts should lead to a collaboration with like-minded people, with like-minded movements. And also, if our pages can have links to the magazines, Nano Echo and Nano Nagel from the South India province. Sorry, Nano is a messenger from the South India province. That would also have lead to a lot of coverage. So, yes, I think these are the points that we covered.
Thank you so much. Excellent, Luella.
Thank you.
Room 4.
I think we were room 4, Karen.
Thank you,
Denise from
Caroline.
Newfoundland, and Nali from the Philippines, Isabel from India, and myself. We don't really, there's nothing really to add. I think we have many of those things, particularly the need to be inspiring, to highlight the work on the ground, and the need for teams of administrators who can make sure that the content is, if we have a set of ethical standards, that those are being adhered to. So I don't. There's nothing else we can really add.
Yeah, we figured we were going to get to this point in the rooms, but thank you very much. Let's go to room 5.
I think that was us.
Yes,
And
Deirdre.
our group was quite diverse. We had Lorraine from the US, Greta from Pakistan in the Punjab, me from Newfoundland, and Lily from Dublin. Lily from Ireland. So we had quite a range of folk, even just among the 4 of us. There's nothing really different that we brought up. It's very much a similar theme on everything. The need for security, the need to speak to people where they are. And if we want to attract young people, we need to go where they are. Just like in any other kind of mission. And it's really important to remember the audience. Who are the audience? What are their characteristics? Why are they going to a social media platform? I think the only other thing our group brought up, other than how lively the movement is in Pakistan, which is delightful to hear. The only other thing we brought up is on that issue of trust, which was spoken about earlier. Since Facebook is no longer fact-checking, it is being viewed in some quarters as that being a real problem. And if people can't trust what they see on Facebook, is that a platform that we should be choosing? There are alternatives to Facebook like Blue Sky, and I'm afraid I am not qualified, and we all recognized in our group that our median age is too high to be really deeply knowledgeable about this. So again, this is a project for the young people. So thank you again, Nisha. And thank you, Greta. Really opened our eyes to a lot of things.
Thank you very much, Deirdre. And Ariel's going to wrap up with whatever hasn't been mentioned from group 6.
We have Karen, John, Brito, and Susanna, and me. So I think everyone has, in every group has already said about the 4 questions. So I just add something which was not mentioned, because almost every group have mentioned and answered the questions posted earlier. So in our discussion, we have identified social media, which we believe the social media that is most common, especially in our country, the Philippines, the most common social media wherein most of our members are members of is the Facebook and Instagram. Of course, as what mentioned by DJ, that there are lots of issues with Facebook now since postings are coming in and out, even misinformation and disinformation. But in our discussion, we suggested that there should be a person or a group of people who will be in charge of the page, who will be called as the administrator of the page, so that they could filter whatever posting we have on our page. And by the way, we have discussed that this Facebook page or any social media page that will be by the Friends of Nano will be one social media page for all communities international, so that there would be no that it would be easy for us to check what the other community or what other country is doing as of the activities and every posting that they have. So the content of the posting, as what we have discussed, I think the posting is not an issue. How frequent are we going to post? As long as there is something to post, that there is a worthwhile information or whatever activity that is worthwhile to post, so that the other community or other countries will have the idea of what the other community or other countries are doing. So as long as there is a worthwhile uh, something to post in the page, I think that should how frequent we are posting. And also, aside from the like motivational videos or photos, I think we should also post some worthwhile activities that is being carried out by each community or each country, so that it could be also uh, um, an inspiration or something to follow by the other Paralitas group or other friends of Nano across other countries. And guidelines, crowd rules, we have identified that there should be an administrator or the one who will keep the page, like as mentioned earlier, as to the posting, as to the grammar, as to the comment. We have to check on that as one of our ground rules. And also, we should also check on the data protection and also the child protection policy, because especially when we are in our community, that there are children who will be exposed in photos or videos that we are going to upload. So they should be also protected since they are children or minor, and at the same time, the copyright issues, especially posting coming from other sources. So the copyright issue should also be addressed by by the group, by the Friends of Knowledge, so there will be no copyright issues emerging from the post of other group or other sources of information. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think everyone did an excellent job of starting the discussion. And then what we will ask you to do is let us know if you want to be a volunteer on this team that will get together and really set those ground rules, talk more about it. In about a week or two, we'll have the recording and the notes that will go out to everyone. And then you can, the team, whoever volunteers, will use that to really start on this project. So Sister Sheila has a few words for us, and she may need to leave. I see her hand going up. So
Yeah, no,
I want to turn it to you.
Yeah, I just want to add a few thoughts that came to me as I was listening. One thing is to, since it is, I think the purpose has not come very clear in the sense of whether it's a ministry that you're talking about using the Facebook or whatever social media, or whether you want to share what you're doing and make friends of Nano known. There are two things that are coming through to me as I was listening. And therefore, to make ourselves aware of this, and then in order to do this, if you want to make ourselves known as friends of Nano, uh, maybe you could use your main focus at the initial thing about uh, who are we, to let yourselves known as an identity. And secondly, although Facebook, I'm also not part of so much of the social media in today's technology, but I would suggest that in your team to have to hold both, though Deirdre felt that it's more of the young ones. I would say to hold both in the team so that you know what you are posting, to be careful, to use your wisdom into what you are posting, and not just go by what we as young ones would feel this is the one thing that has to be posted. To be careful as a movement that we are. So that's what I just wanted to share.
Yes, very wise. Do you have any other comments for us?
Yeah,
Yes.
because why I'm saying this is, as a team, what Ariel was saying, you are going to be as a team there and to hold the whole thing. And I understand that it's not every individual who is a friend of Nano would be posting things. So, it's in a positive sense, I'm talking about the control that we would have in the media.
Oh, yes,
And
yes.
yeah, that's, yeah.
And the team will be under the direction of Maria, who's in charge of the communication team at the international level. So this is going to be like a sub-working group, but supervised by Maria. Once they get started, they'll have their own separate meetings, but she will also be there. Ariel, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think what Shira is saying is that some I don't know if I still belong to the younger group, but I think the younger group is having no trouble in posting, but the idea, the content must be coming from no, another group so that there would be a direction on what will be posted in our social media platform. So I think posting is not an issue. The issue here is what are we going to post and what post should be approved by the group so that it will be posted on a public page like Facebook or Instagram.
Yes, of course. Okay, this is just the beginning of the discussion, but I think we have enough to start with. And in order to respect your time, do we have any other announcements, Maria, that we need to make? Okay, then we will go to the final prayer, which Dira has prepared for us. Thank you, Dira.
Thank you, Karen ma'am. Ariel, would you kindly? Start the slideshow. Just a short prayer. Quickly, I'll go over it. Slideshow. Thank you. The closing prayer and the aim is seeking God's grace and the blessings of our founder, Venerable Nano Nagel. Next slide, please. This was a poem that has inspired me. I'll quickly read it. Lending a Helping Hand by Sarah E. Param Lowell. If you see a friend despondent neath the cares and ills of life, if he wears a face of sadness, as if weary in the strife, speak a word of hearty kindness. Greet him with a hand clasp warm. Let your smile be like the sunshine, breaking through the clouds and storm. If you see a fallen brother, trampled by the passing crowd, no one heeding, no one caring, for the heart so scorned and bowed, do not harshly chide and judge him. lend to him a helping hand. Help him to assert his manhood and among his fellows stand. Oh, how quick we are in judgment, and how prone we are to chide, with cold looks and gathered garments, passing to the other side, when we ought with Christly kindness to lift up the fallen one, and by prayers and deeds to help him, other pitfalls deep to shun. Oh, the woes that we might lighten, oh, the tears that we might dry, oh, the homes that we might brighten as the days pass swiftly by. If we should but stop and ponder on the good that we might do, and with loving hearts endeavor to a conscience to be true. Next slide, please, Ariel. Here is a short prayer by the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, who also was a great writer, poet, and wrote the national anthems of two countries, India and Bangladesh. This is my prayer to thee, my Lord. Strike, strike at the root of penury in my heart. Give me the strength lightly to bear my joys and sorrows. Give me the strength to make my love fruitful in service. Give me the strength never to disown the poor or bend my knees before insolent might. Give me the strength to raise my mind high above daily trifles. And give me the strength to surrender my strength to thy will with love. Amen.
Amen.
Next slide, please. In the words of Venerable Nano Nagel, our foundress, if I could be of any service in saving souls in any part of the globe, I would gladly do all in my power. May we continue to serve humanity as friends of Nano. May the Lady with the Lantern continue to act as a divine beacon forever and a day. May God bless all our endeavors abundantly. Thank you.
Thank you all very much for attending, and we will be in touch. Remember, if you're interested in working in the working group, to set up a social media presence for the International Friends of Nano, send us an email to Maria or Ariel or me, and this will get started. So our next meeting will be in April, towards the end of April. Maria.
The date of the next meeting, can you repeat that?
It's going to be
26th of April.
26th?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's perhaps we need to reassign that date.
It's after Easter, I know.
Yeah, but because it's the 26th of April.
Oh, because it's the anniversary
Yes,
of
yes. So
of the death
perhaps
of
watch this
Nano.
space for the next. Yes.
It wouldn't be
or perhaps
appropriate
people
for us
can
to
send
meet
their
then?
Well, I'm just wondering if there might be other things going on in convents. Perhaps our links can have a think about that and let us know whether it's still good to go with that date or should we alter it. Yes,
Right.
so we'll throw that out. Okay. Sorry, I meant to ask you that earlier.
No, that's I knew it missed Easter, so it wasn't going to be a problem there, but yes. Okay, so let us know that also. It's good to see everyone from around the world.
Thank you,
And,
Karen, ma'am. Thank you.
have a good evening, night, rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Ariel.
Ariel. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Good
Bye.
luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
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 Much love. Bye. Bye.
Thank you for arranging the rooms and everything, Ariel, and giving the report.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Take
And to your colleague.
Yes, who helped?
Okay. Go to bed,
Okay.
Karen.